Hey guys, welcome to episode number 2 of From the Ground Up. This is an 8-part series where I go into detail and really explain a lot of the nuances of movement to help you get better. Now, if you would like to skip my upcoming monologue, I will put a timestamp on screen. Go ahead and skip over to that and get right into it. So today, we're going to be focusing mostly on your intro to Edgebugs and your intro to routes. Now, if you don't know what those things are, that's okay. We're going to get into that in just a second. I will say, if you are fairly new to movement and you haven't watched my last video, you have to go watch that video. That video talks mostly about strafing and how to fast ladder and just being comfortable on ladders. Knowing, understanding, and being good at those things is a prerequisite for being able to learn and understand what I'm going to teach this video. Now, if you are comfortable with those things, I see no sense going back and watching a video about something you're already familiar with. Very last thing, please keep in mind, while recording this, I am getting over a cold, so if I ever sound weird, that's why. Anyways, let's not delay any further and get right into it. So, what exactly are we going to be talking about here? We're going to be going over two main topics: Edgebugs and routes. Starting off here with Edgebugs, the first question is, what is an Edgebug and why does it work? To explain it properly, let me show you something. These ledges here, and almost every other ledge in the game, isn't actually a perfect 90-degree ledge. The hitboxes of these ledges and curbs look a lot more like this, where you have a little 2-pixel ramp in between the two surfaces. What that means is, if you are flying through the air towards that ledge at just the right angle, you can hit that little 1 to 2 pixel ramp and slide off it. Now, the biggest benefit to this is if you jump from somewhere high up and you hit that ledge just right and successfully land the Edgebug, you will not take any fall damage. Now, there are countless Edgebugs around every map in Counter-Strike, but for today's video, this is just the very intro. I'm going to be teaching you the Edgebugs you can hit today. Well, no sense stalling anymore. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you is how to hit the Edgebug off of Silo onto the ledge in front of Mini. Here's what it looks like. Very easy. Now, how this works is, when I jump off Silo and hit this cylinder is a surfable object, meaning if I were to get on the cylinder and hold A, I can just sit here and surf this. Now, what that means for the Edgebug is, when I hit this cylinder, jumping off of Silo, it puts me in the correct position to Edgebug off of this ledge here. Now that you're aware how it works, let me show you how to do it. I'm going to show you the two most straightforward ways to do this, even though there is no one right way to do it. You could jump off of anywhere from over here, and if you strafe right onto the cylinder, you will hit the Edgebug. Method number 1 is off of this pipe here. You're going to want to run up to it, making sure your left leg is somewhere near it. It doesn't have to be exact. If I'm over here, it doesn't matter that much. You're going to want to jump off and air strafe to the right to get yourself in line with this cylinder. You can be here, you can be here. As long as you're somewhere in this kind of zone where you're going to slide off the cylinder, you're in the right place. So run up, get your left leg in the zone, jump, strafe to the right, slide off the cylinder, and you hit the Edgebug. Now, keep in mind, once your character has jumped and strafed and you are in line with the cylinder, you don't have to hit anything. You're already done. You can let go of all your keystrokes and it'll hit. I jump, I'm in line, I let go. That's it. Now, the other way to do this is to line up your left foot with this dark patch right here. With this one, I do prefer to do a double or triple strafe, meaning I go left, right, left. Very easy. If you have either scroll wheels set to plus jump, at the bottom of this jump, scroll either up or down to get that jump. You should note, Edgebugs are not directional. You don't have to be facing a specific direction to hit the Edgebug. What that means is, because you don't have to hit any keystrokes once you're in line with the cylinder to hit this Edgebug, you could turn any direction you want. Here's what that looks like. I jump, hit my strafes in line, I could turn. because I don't have to hold any keystrokes to hit this edge bug, it's not going to affect it at all. I can hit this edge bug facing any which way. I can face it out. I can do it facing the cylinder. I can do it looking straight up in the air. It doesn't matter. As long as you are in line with this cylinder, you are on track to hit the edge bug. The second edge bug we're going to be talking about is the heaven to A main edge bug. There is no one specific way to do it. Now, I'm going to give you a good blueprint to practice it, but there are countless ways to successfully hit it. Here's the way I like to do it. I start on this pillar here. I run forward. As I come up to this, I tap A to be touching it, continue on straight, and as my foot crosses this line, it'll be here, somewhere along here. Once your foot crosses this line, you jump and you strafe to the right. Let me show you this in full motion. You run out, tap A, foot crosses line, jump, and go for this edge bug here. Now you are aiming specifically for about this line right here. Again, run out, A strafe, jump, and hit the edge bug. If you're having trouble hitting it this way, the other way to do it is to line up with this yellow line here, run. As your foot crosses the same line, jump and slowly strafe over, aiming for right there. Let me show you. You want to run, foot crosses line, strafe over, aim for that line there. Let me show you what this looks like when you complete it successfully. There it is. Okay, now that we've gotten edge bugs out of the way, let's move on to So, what is a route? Okay, that was the last time. I promise. Now, the definition of a route when pertaining to CS2 movement is a planned sequence of movement techniques and pathing choices used to travel from one location to another as quickly, efficiently, or stylishly as possible. Now, breaking that down, that basically means you're trying to get from point A to point B in either the fastest and most efficient way possible, or in the most stylish and enjoyable way possible. Now, as this series progresses, I will be talking a lot about routes. For this video specifically, I'm going to be showing some very basic routes just to get your entry into how to do basic stuff as a way to build off of. I'm not going to be showing too many routes, but the routes I will be showing include a lot of tech that will help you progress. So, let's get into it. Alright, let's get into routes. The first couple of routes I'm going to teach are from T-spawn up to silo, and then we're going to move from there. Here's what the first route I'm going to teach looks like. Now, that may look a little complicated, but I'm going to take it step by step, and I'm going to teach just one move at a time. The first move is the backwards ladder strafe. Now, I know last video I talked a lot about how difficult it is to switch directions on ladders. This is going to be the introduction to that to get you familiar with it. First things first, attach to the ladder, face towards the right, towards this blue box, and look down. Now, the two keys you're going to be pressing to go up and down are A and S and W and D. Just practice that back and forth. A and S, W and D. Once you have that down, let me show you how to strafe over to box facing this way. Now, the motion to get off of ladder onto box isn't the same as the C we talked about last video. We're on ladder facing this way. You want to turn 90 degrees this way while still holding A and S. Continuing to hold A and S, you want to do a 180 while looking up. That's going to look something like this. You catch on, attach, A and S, turn, and scoop around. Now, I did that very slow. Of course, you're not going to make it doing slow. You have some leeway with how fast you can do it. Ideally, it's going to look something like this. When attempting this ladder strafe for the first couple of times, you're going to want to get much higher up on this ladder than you might want to. That's going to look something like this. You get way up, and then you have a lot of leeway for being able to strafe around. And as you practice this, you can slowly get it lower to the point where you're not even dropping at all, getting onto this blue box. Now let me show you how this strafe works in third person. When you attach to this ladder facing this direction, you're going straight up and down. When you turn facing the other way while holding A and S, it pushes you off this ladder. To execute the strafe around, you continue to hold the same keys, but you turn around fully. Now let's take it a step further. Because you don't have to be so high up on the ladder to make this strafe, if you can get your jump right, you don't have to face this way. You can skip that altogether. You can jump straight to facing backwards. This works because while you're facing backwards, you're still making strides up the ladder and strafing off at the same time. That looks something like this. There we go. I highly recommend that you practice this move over and over again. This should not be the pinch point in your route. Now that we have the first move down, let's assume we've made it up here. Now what? The next thing we're going to learn is the backwards ladder up onto T-roof, and that looks something like this. First things first, from blue box, you jump onto this platform. From here, you jump, turn backwards, and hold A and S. Let me show you again. Jump to platform, jump on platform to ladder, hold A and S. It is all one motion, right? Once you jump onto ladder from here, you're about 90% of the way. My foot is stepping up onto this. All you do is hold it for a second and turn onto this platform. The full speed maneuver will look like this. Jump, ladder, turn. Jump, ladder, turn. It is very easy. I believe you can do it. The full motion of these two ladder strafes is going to look something like this. You want to jump, connect to this ladder, do the ladder strafe getting off of this using A and S, jump to this platform, jump and turn connecting to this ladder using A and S, hold A and S and turn 90 degrees to the right to strafe onto this platform. Now this is the easiest part. From here you jump over, strafe to this platform, jump and crouch to get up to here, jump and crouch to get up onto silo, and then from here you can do your edge bug. Very simple. This route in full speed will look like this. Alright, the second route I'm going to teach is very similar to the first. The end goal is the same. The end goal is to get up onto silo. And this first part is identical. You could do the back strafe, or you could strafe it normally onto this blue box. As long as you get to this blue box, that's the first part. Second part, we're bypassing this ladder. We're not going to use this ladder. Instead, we're going to use this cylinder and this valve here to get up to the pipe onto silo. Now, that looks like this. You jump, get onto the cylinder, strafe onto this valve. Now keep in mind, you don't want to be on the valve. You want to be on the ring connecting to this pipe. Once you're here, turn 90 degrees to the right, walk forward, jump, and use A to strafe around, catching yourself right here. That looks like this. You walk forward, jump, strafe, and I add a crouch at the end just to ensure that I'm going to make it up onto this pipe. Some problems you might have with this maneuver is you have trouble getting all the way around, you end up dropping, and catching the pipe a little bit and then sliding off it. What might help is instead of starting in the middle of this pipe, scooch to the left as much as you can. Run forward to gain your speed. Find the right time to jump. You have some leeway. My feet are now only touching the hitboxes of this pipe. They're no longer directly on the pipe. And if I were to go further more, I'd start to fall off. You're going to find that exact zone to jump. A good marker I use is once I'm about to lose sight of this pipe, when I'm facing this way, I jump. That'll kind of get me far enough on the edge where I'm able to make the strafe around. Now with the strafe around, you don't want to do it too fast. If you do it too fast, you're going to have problems making it. If you do it too slow, you're not going to make it there. There is a certain speed you need to turn your mouse in order to make it. Now you're going to play with that speed. There's not really a certain way for me to tell you the exact way to turn. You could watch me do it and copy that for yourself. If you want to take this a step further, you can do it the same way, but in a side strafe. That looks like this. For some people, it might be a little easier because you can see the pipe the whole time. For others, they're not so used to side strafing. Either way, here's how you do it. Now, specifically how you do this is almost identical to the way you do it holding A. You get to your position, you hold D, you jump, and you hold W and do a 180, adding a crouch at the end to catch this pipe here. Easy. The last route I'm going to show you on T-roof is this ladder catch to box strafe, and that looks like this. There's no real practical reason to do this other than either for your own enjoyment or in the spirit of getting better at movement. Either way, let me show you how to do it. You're going to want to start somewhere to the right of this box on T-roof. You walk forward. Once you get onto this ledge, you jump and you strafe off to the right towards this ladder. Once you've done that, you're going to want to catch this ladder somewhere in the middle, preferably a little closer to the edge. Once you're here, you do the same strafe you did as before. You turn 90 degrees so you're on this ladder backwards. You hold W and A and you strafe around. Now, you can make this look much smoother. It's all one motion. Connect, WA, strafe. Connect, WA, strafe around while still holding WA. Very, very simple. The other version to this is just a plain ladder catch, where you catch this ladder and you can jump off, engaging a fight and whoever may be over here. Or, you can catch this ladder, jump off, and strafe over this way to engage whoever might be inside lobby. The final route I'm going to show you for T-Roof is the jump from this ledge onto this higher part of T-Roof. Now, this jump is very simple, and I guarantee you can get it very consistently today. Step 1 is to walk forward on this ledge. Step 2 is to hold A and turn 90 degrees this way. Step 3 is to crouch before you hit this ledge. Now that looks like this. Walk forward, A, jump, crouch. If you're still having trouble on top of that, what you can do is, going forward W, you can hold A for a second before you jump to get further off this ledge, closer to this ledge. Now that looks like this. I'm going forward. I hold W and A for a second before making this jump, getting just to the edge of this ledge here. And once I jump, I let go of W, so I'm just holding A. Very simple. Alright, the next route I'm going to show you is a CT side route beginning in heaven. Now, you might recognize this cylinder. This is the same cylinder as the one on Mini, the one you can surf. This route is an alternative way to get out of heaven. You have a couple different ways to get out of heaven. You could jump onto reactors, onto or into hut, and then down vent. You could strafe around, hitting this yellow ramp, or what I'm showing is the surf off of this white cylinder. Here's what that looks like. For those of you who don't know how to surf, it's very simple. Practice this. Get up next to this white cylinder, tip yourself off a little bit, and hold D once you're on it. Now, the direction you're facing matters. So if I'm looking up this way, I'm going to fall off backwards. If I'm looking down this way, that's where I'm going to go. Now that you know how to surf this cylinder, all you have to do is walk forward, either jump or walk off onto it, and hold D while on it. Your forward momentum before touching the cylinder will take you forward enough. Keep in mind, after the cylinder, try and land on this blue box here, because if you don't, you do take fall damage. Now, quick tip, this is a little advanced, but something to practice. You can hit the Edgebug off of this. All it is you attach to this with forward momentum, and you strafe off at the right time, just tipping off onto this blue box. Now, here's what that looks like. The last route I'm going to show you is a completely unnecessary route. I don't see any real uses for this in-game besides enjoying yourself. But it looks like this. Now keep in mind, the B-hops are gambles. You're not going to hit the B-hops every time. But if you can at least get the strafe and turn into this little cubby down, that is a big step forward. How this works is you walk off this cylinder, jump on this ground, strafe over to this holding D and continuing to hold D, you surf off of this and turn into this cubby. So again, you walk off and jump holding D, strafe, and strafe further into this cubby. Now the other thing you could do with the surf starts over here. You run, you jump, you surf, and you got your momentum this way. Bonus, if you can hit the Edgebug that lives right about here. That looks something like this. Now, before we end the video, I do have a couple of talking points I want to bring up. The main one is, please, please, please don't get discouraged. A lot of these moves take hundreds and hundreds of repetitions before you even get some remnants of consistency, let alone hitting a clip with them in-game. If you're having trouble with any specific moves, please refer back to the video, rewatch it, try and figure it out. If you still can't figure it out, please DM me on Discord. I am more than happy to help you specifically. You may be watching these movement montages, and it looks like these people are consistent with their tech. Now, you're seeing the needles in the haystack. You're seeing the little bits and clips that they've gotten over hundreds of games. Speaking from experience, if you could see how many takes it took me to get the B-roll that I got, you would be appalled. Especially when you start getting to more advanced tech and like your entry to jump bugs and more difficult edge bugs. you are going to repeat them over and over and over again to very little success, but over time you will gain the experience, it will become easier, and you will start to get more consistent. For example, this weird edge bug on B site, coming off of that red line, that took me an insane amount of tries. I think I was sitting there doing it over and over again for 30-40 minutes. But since I took all that time just learning and repeating that one move over and over again, since learning it, I have hit it more than a handful of times in game. And at the beginning, I couldn't imagine me getting even a lick of consistency with it. Towards the end, I hit it once or twice, but still. Another thing, you are going to come across an insane amount of negative characters in your games. Please don't let them discourage you. There is an unfortunate amount of egos in the movement scene. Please don't feed into that. Let them have their little ego. Let them think they're better. That's okay. All you got to worry about is having a good time in your games. And that brings me to my last talking point, is go for crazy shit. If you never go for crazy shit, you're never going to hit crazy shit. You could go for the same crazy clip 10, 15 times over the course of God knows how many games and miss it. It only takes one. It just takes one time, just sending it out there to hit it. Anyways, that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any tips or any recommendations for what I can include in future videos, please join my Discord. It's down in the description. And if there's anything I missed for this video that you think I should have included, a certain route, a certain tech, tell me in the comments. If there's enough comments about certain tech, I can make a whole separate video besides the series explaining that specific tech. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.